headlines of VTV News. Prime Minister pays tribute to legendary founders of Vietnam. Numerous transport projects to open to traffic before holiday. And later on in our world news, European countries discuss maintaining economic competitiveness.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News, broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Phạm, and here's the top news of the hour. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and other officials offered incense in commemoration of the Hùng Kings, the legendary founders of Vietnam, at Kính Thiên Palace on Nghĩa Linh Mountain in Việt Trì City in the northern province of Phú Thọ on April the 18th, the 10th day of the third lunar month. The incense offering ceremony was held at the special National Historical Relic Site of the Hùng Kings Temple. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, other officials from the party, state ministries, sectors, central agencies and localities, along with people from nationwide, attended the event. They expressed deep gratitude to the ancestors who founded the nation and paved the way for the construction and development of today's beautiful, prosperous and civilized Vietnam. Following that, the delegation offered incense at the tomb of the Hùng Kings and laid wreaths at the bas-relief depicting President Ho Chi Minh talking to soldiers of the Tiền Phong or Pioneer Brigade at the Giang Temple intersection. The worship of the Hùng Kings, closely related to the Vietnamese people's tradition of ancestor worship, was recognized as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO in 2012. In a revered tradition, every year on the 10th day of the third lunar month, Vietnamese people throughout the country and overseas turn their hearts to the Hùng Kings Temple in the northern ancestral land of Phú Thọ to pay deep and sincere gratitude to the Hùng Kings, the legendary founders of the nation.
On Wednesday, the Hùng Kings Temple historical relic site attracts a multitude of people. Many families return to the ancestral land, wishing to pay their respects and show gratitude to the merits of the Hùng Kings.
Our extended family, including my 84-year-old mother, aunts, uncle, and even those from southern Vietnam, came to Hùng Temple.
We have been here since yesterday. We feel so happy. We have never seen a festival as crowded as this.
Whether living in the country or abroad, every Vietnamese person considers the Hùng Kings their Vietnamese ancestors. The worship of the Hùng Kings embodies the Vietnamese nation's pride and bonding. It's a convergence of Vietnamese spiritual sentiments, reminding them of their roots and creating national solidarity.
National solidarity is a great value. It strengthens us all and encourages us to support and love each other.
In 2012, UNESCO recognized worshipping the Hùng Kings in Phú Thọ province as part of the world's intangible cultural heritage. The Hùng Kings ritual, which has existed for thousands of years, shows the enduring vitality of Vietnamese culture.
To celebrate Hùng Kings Commemoration Day, many Vietnamese from all walks of life embark on a pilgrimage to the land of their ancestors in the Việt Trì City, Phú Thọ province. The Hùng Kings Commemoration Day is regarded as a celebration of immense importance among Vietnamese citizens. It also serves as a symbol of cultural value, profound solidarity, and a sense of gratitude and worship towards the ancestors. Phú Thọ is expected to welcome more than 1 million visitors during this special occasion. Inscribed in December 2012 on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, the worship of the Hùng Kings in the northern province of Phú Thọ embodies spiritual solidarity. In the Mekong Delta, various key transportation projects are being accelerated to ensure construction progress. Thanks to the diligent efforts of contractors and the active involvement of local authorities, these projects have successfully come into operation before this year's Reunification Day and Labor's Day holiday.
More than $21 million is the total investment capital poured into the Châu Đốc Bridge project connecting An Giang, Kiên Giang and Đầu Tháp provinces. After more than 24 months of construction, the project is ready to open to traffic on April the 23rd.
We are finalizing the bridge railing at both ends and lane stripes. We will do our best to fully complete the work in the next 5 days.
This is the Trần Hoàng Na Bridge project, which connects the central district of Cần Giờ city. To inaugurate the bridge before the upcoming holiday, contractors are accelerating the construction of remaining items.
Only 3 tasks remain before bringing the bridge into operation, including planting trees under the bridge, installing an artistic lighting system, and cleaning the bridge surface. The steering committee is now urging construction units to quickly finish the remaining tasks.
Due to drastic direction from the government and the implementation efforts of localities and contractors, more key traffic projects will soon be put into operation. These crucial traffic works will serve as growth drivers for the economic and social development of Mekong Delta region.
According to the Department of Foreign Investment's report, Ministry of Investment and Planning, Bắc Ninh province ranked second in attracting FDI capital into the country during the first quarter of 2024. The total registered investment capital was nearly $745.2 million, accounting for almost 12.1% of the total investment capital in the country. These results confirm the province's efforts to attract investment. Since the early days of 2024, Bắc Ninh has attracted more investment projects in industrial parks. Notable projects include the newly approved ready-built factory and warehouse project for rent by the Vietnam Industrial Park Group Joint Stock Company in Thuận Thành 3 Industrial Park Subdivision B. With a scale of 14 hectares and a rental floor area of more than 90,000 square meters, the project is expected to create more competitive advantages, attract FDI capital, and contribute positively to Bắc Ninh province development. For 2024, the General Department of Customs has been assigned by the National Assembly to participate in state budget revenue set at $14.7 billion, $39 million lower than in 2023. This is also the first year that the state budget revenue target set for the customs industry has been lower than the previous year. The industry is currently grappling with numerous difficulties resulting from disrupted global trade and economic activities. In line with this, since the start of the year, the customs sector has proactively taken various measures to ensure the assigned budget collection plan.
Despite Vietnam's trading activities rebounding in the first months of the year, the customs industry budget revenues still plunged by nearly $177 million. Notably, the import turnover of completely built-up or CBU cars experienced a significant decline.
In the first quarter, CBU car imports declined by 19.3% in volume and dropped by 23% in price, leading to a significant reduction in revenue.
This customs branch has specifically established a daily revenue target. These detailed targets set for each day and month reflect the customs sector's commitment to directing budget collection management at local branches.
If we fail to meet the daily target, we will closely inspect each step in the budget collection process, simultaneously putting forward timely solutions.
As a result, Bình Dương custom budget revenue inched up 1.55% compared to the same period. Despite this modest increase, it partially shows the challenges faced by the customs sector in achieving this year's budget collections.
We identify creating optimal conditions for businesses in customs clearance as a top priority. We strive to timely address customs bottlenecks, reduce customs fees, and simplify customs procedures.
To complete the yearly budget collection target, the General Department of Customs has urged units under its wing to effectively strengthen long-term solutions.
We have focused on key specialized tasks, including the prevention of revenue loss, tax management, tax debt collection, post-customs clearance inspection, and measures against smuggling and trade fraud.
The General Department of Customs also requires provincial and city customs departments to initiate and implement appropriate solutions to boost revenue and prevent the loss of state budget collections.
According to the General Department of Taxation, over 15,000 petroleum retail stores have successfully issued electronic invoices for each sale across the country. 5 months into implementation, the nationwide adoption by petrol retail stores not only benefits taxpayers in the long run, but also assists the state in preventing tax revenue loss. Our next story, reported from Long An Province, will provide a glimpse into these efforts.
It takes a gas station attendant no more than 30 seconds to issue the electronic invoice after a customer scans the transaction code and fills out the necessary information. The e-invoice issuance helps buyers easily manage and compare their transactions.
I can receive the e-invoice immediately after filling up with gas. It is very convenient for drivers like us when submitting invoices to companies.
For this gas station, the proper issuance of electronic invoices allow the owner to easily generate e-invoices and manage the sales staff.
Electronic invoices help owners manage revenue and gas station sales strictly. This new form of invoice issuance also makes customers feel secure after filling their tanks.
With the support of the tax industry, petroleum enterprises have a fair business environment, which limits petrol trade fraud.
The issuance of electronic invoices after each sale in the petroleum sector has created a significant transformation in the business activities of enterprises.
To streamline tax control, it's necessary to legislate the elimination of semi-manual issuance of e-invoices. Forms such as POS machines or mobile apps, which do not ensure automation, objectivity, cohesion, and transparency of invoice issuance, should not be used.
In the first quarter of this year alone, the tax industry received and processed more than 7.2 billion electronic invoices. The previous limitations of paper invoices, such as difficulties in storage and conducting statistics, have been eliminated. Clearly, e-invoices have streamlined the efficiency of tax management in the petroleum industry.
Coming up next, improve capacity to monitor and protect rights of people with disabilities. And exploring a rich culture and traditions of Ade ethnic village in a day. In addition to policies that provide maximum support for people living with disabilities, the community itself is also making efforts to improve. They strive to advocate for themselves and help their community have a better life. More to follow about this template.
Last December, the Ministry of Transport issued the Universal Transportation Design Criteria for Accessibility. It outlines infrastructure and transportation development regulations, ensuring safe and convenient travel for everyone, including vulnerable groups. This marks a pivotal moment for the transportation industry and holds significant importance for the disabled community, who are actively involved in the project as technical consultants and supervisors.
We serve as a direct implementation unit and actively participate in research activities. Additionally, we support funding sources to enhance working models, demonstrating the crucial practical significance of implementing this set of criteria.
9 of the 45 Action to the Community Development Institute employees have disabilities. They play active roles within the institute and contribute to projects such as free legal consultations and life skills and career skills training programs for people with disabilities.
The community of people with disabilities enhance their capacity to participate in citizen monitoring, ensuring that activities related to them include their involvement. The role and participation of people with disabilities in such activities are crucial, like the international slogan, "Nothing about us without us."
Over the past 10 years, many activities have been undertaken to improve the capacity of people living with disabilities. The presence of people with disabilities in initiation, implementation, and monitoring roles has created many changes in action programs for people with disabilities in Vietnam.
As domestic airfare prices rise sharply, many people are opting for alternate transportation methods like trains and buses for travel, or returning home during the national holiday on April the 30th. The Western Bus Station in Ho Chi Minh City can accommodate a 30% increase in passengers compared to the same period. At its peak, it served around 62,000 passengers. Additionally, the Saigon Railway Transport Joint Stock Company has added more trains from Ho Chi Minh City to other cities and vice versa, with discounts ranging from 5 to 30% available. The Hoa Lu Festival 2024 officially opened at the National Special Relic Site of the Hoa Lu Ancient Capital on April the 17th, the 9th day of the third lunar month. The festival commemorates the 1,100th birth anniversary of King Ding Tiên Hoàng. The event took place on a 2,000 square meter stage and featured a light show created by 1,000 drones, attracting numerous spectators. This festival not only fosters patriotism among Vietnamese people, but also disseminates Vietnamese culture to international audiences. Many localities across the nation are experiencing significant degradation of their cultural and historical relics. Urgent investment is needed for restoration. However, restoration and renovation need a meticulous research to maintain the original architectural and aesthetic values. This also helps increase the relic's resilience to time and weather effects.
Tai Phuong Pagoda is recognized as a national special relic site. However, the relic site endured a long period of deterioration. Earlier this year, the authorities approved a renovation plan for the relic site. While this was good news, this also presented many challenges.
Renovation is needed, but the work must maintain the original features of the relic site. I hope it won't be coated with strange colors, just fix whatever is broken. These old patterns are beautiful. Unlike this renovated part, it is so mismatched.
Lung has served at the pagoda for many years, and her concerns are valid. The latest restoration resulted in significant damage to the relic. The workers lacked the necessary skills, leading to the breakage of numerous ancient tiles.
6 years. It took 6 years just to renovate the roof. This renovation, for example, functioned more like destruction. It was such a colossal waste of money and time. What a pity.
In recent years, numerous restorations have drawn criticism due to the resulting deformities and damage to the cultural relics. Properly treating cultural relics requires not only funding, but also scientific solutions and a strong sense of responsibility.
Funding, scientific solutions, and responsibility should work together in each renovation process. If one aspect is not met, the relic could be in disarray or, worse, be damaged.
The more delicate the ancient artistic architecture, the more fragile it is against the effects of renovation. Therefore, not only Tai Phuong Pagoda, but every historical relic should be treated with careful restoration to retain its quintessential values.
During holidays, people often relax with family and friends by traveling to popular tourist destinations or exploring new places. If you have just one day off, spending peaceful moments in a mountainous village and immersing yourself in nature can be a great choice. So join us in the following story to enjoy such a trip.
Như cuộc sống ở đây một ngày dậy về làm chè dai hái chè. Hái chè xong thì hái rau rừng này, là lúc cá suối này. Như cuộc sống ở đây thì cứ thế thôi.
The Tay ethnic people in Lian village typically spend their days in a peaceful manner like this. They live close to nature and smiles and joy always accompany them.
I raise chickens and ducks in my gardens and fish in these ponds. I grow vegetables in the garden.
Today, Janet and her friends enjoy a peaceful day living like the locals.
Yes.
Trying to get it. Tea fruit.
Yeah, tea fruit.
I really like this place. The space and the life here are wonderful.
Palm forests, tea hills, terrains, and traditional occupations, along with the simplicity of daily life, all become assets for farmers in Lian village to create attractive tourism services.
We must always innovate in creating new services and experiences for tourists. I get to visit many places and see various approaches to community tourism.
Village experiences are increasingly being developed into appealing tourism services. Incorporating these experiences into festivals is capturing the interest of many regions. This approach aids farmers in becoming more active in tourism, particularly in rural and sustainable green tourism.
Coming up next in our world news, European countries discuss maintaining economic competitiveness. And U.S. President calls for tripling of tariffs on Chinese metals. Maintaining economic competitiveness was the theme of a two-day extraordinary European summit. The leaders of the 27 European Union members aimed to reach a common agreement to protect the economic, industrial, and technological foundations, as well as to narrow the growth and innovation gap with the U.S. and China. Among these urgent issues, one has emerged: maintaining the competitiveness of the EU's economy. All statistics show that the competitiveness of the European economy is decreasing. Without immediate awareness and early action, European businesses risk falling behind, and the EU may not be able to maintain its social welfare model. Linking financial markets is expected to be the solution. The summit also discussed ways to expand the functions of the European Investment Bank and how to mobilize a part of the huge figure of 9,000 billion euros that Europeans are saving and put it into investment channels. U.S. President Joe Biden called for the tripling of tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum on Wednesday when he spoke to union members in Battleground, Pennsylvania, amid pressure from labor unions concerned about the survival of the U.S. steel industry as Chinese exports flood the global markets. The U.S. president called on his United States trade representative to consider tripling the existing 7.5% average tariff rate on Chinese steel and aluminum. The U.S. Trade Representative also announced that they will conduct investigations into China's trade practices in the fields of shipbuilding, maritime, and logistics. China has not yet responded to the information. Iran has recently increased its oil production capacity, reaching 3.5 million barrels per day. The country is exporting more oil than at any time in the past 6 years, giving its economy a $35 billion a year boost. Iran's success in exporting its crude underscores the difficulties facing the U.S. and the EU as they seek to increase pressure on Tehran following its missile and drone attack on Israel. A statement from Iran's Planning and Budget Organization affirmed that the country's oil industry has succeeded in overcoming U.S. sanctions. According to an independent research organization, Tehran sold an average of nearly 2 million barrels a day during the first 3 months of the year, almost all of it to China, accounting for 10% of Beijing's total oil imports. Observers in the Middle East believe that Washington's sanctions against Iran are unlikely to be more effective when many financial institutions trading oil with Iran are currently designed to be completely separate from the U.S. financial system. An Australian underwater drone is using AI to help survey the Great Barrier Reef as a widespread mass coral bleaching event unfolds across the world's most extensive reef ecosystem. More in the following.
This underwater drone called Hydrus is using artificial intelligence to study coral reefs. Australia's Great Barrier Reef has been hit by a major coral bleaching event. With the help of Hydrus, marine scientists aim to conduct more accurate and regular surveys to better understand the impacts of climate change on the world's most extensive reef ecosystem.
Traditionally, we've done this with dive teams. However, dive teams can only see so much and go so far, and that's where we've had to augment our survey methods to include the use of robotics, just to enable us to scale, to go deeper, to operate in areas where predators like crocodiles and bull sharks and jellyfish now routinely reside.
Operating fully autonomously, Hydrus has a range of roughly 5.5 miles for up to 3 hours. It can go as deep as 10,000 feet underwater and capture video with a 4K camera.
One of the benefits of having a robotic system is that it goes back to that same location every single time, and it takes the same photo from the same orientation every single time, which is really, really difficult to achieve with a human diver. So if you want to have a lot of scientific robustness to the data that you're collecting time and time again, a solution like Hydrus adds that.
We're in the midst of another mass coral bleaching event right now, which means the Great Barrier Reef is at threat from climate change, and that's why AIMS is investing heavily in trying to expand our monitoring systems to be able to collect the data that decision makers need to be informed.
A bleached coral can recover if water's cool, but if ocean temperatures remain high for longer periods, it will die. Experts have tied the mass bleaching events to climate change.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTV Go from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.